Hey there, and welcome to episode 67 of Your Fun and Profitable Online Business. This is the podcast that helps you build a business that feels as good as it looks. I'm Wendy, and I help women entrepreneurs create fun and profitable businesses using simple systems, intentional action, and a whole lot less pressure. Today, we're talking about something I see all the time with women business owners. It's what I refer to as the enoughness problem. You know the feeling. I'll feel successful when I hit six figures, when my audience is at this magical number, when it's easier to sell, when I'm more organized, when I'm more confident, when I feel ready. And here's what happens. You hit the thing that you think you need to hit, and instead of feeling proud or grounded or even excited, your brain immediately moves the goalpost. You think you should be doing this next thing, and suddenly the thing you wanted initially becomes just not enough. And this matters more than most people realize, because when your business constantly feels like it's falling short, you start building from pressure instead of possibility. You stop seeing your progress, you stop celebrating your wins, and you stop trusting yourself. And eventually, your business feels heavy, even when things are working. So today I want to talk about why this happens, why your brain does this, how it impacts your business, and how to start creating a healthy relationship with growth, success, and momentum. Because you don't need to earn the right to feel proud of yourself. And your business journey doesn't have to feel like one endless moving finish line. All right, let's dig in. Now, I'm going to start by dropping a truth bomb. I think one of the biggest lies in the entrepreneurship world is this idea that success creates peace. So many of us are chasing a future version of ourselves that we believe will finally make us feel calm or confident or successful, or sadly, even worthy. But what usually happens? Our nervous system just adapts very quickly. The thing that once felt exciting becomes normal. And your brain immediately starts scanning for the next problem, the next gap, the next level. That's part of how the human brain works. Our brains are designed to notice what still needs our attention. It's trying to keep us safe. But if you're not intentional, you can accidentally create a business experience where nothing ever feels like it's enough. And I see this especially with high-achieving women. Women who are capable, driven, creative, and even thoughtful. Women who are constantly trying to improve things. Now, improvement itself isn't the problem. The problem is when we become unable to experience the satisfaction during the process, because then business turns into chasing or proving or comparing, and it's a space that you're constantly trying to arrive at instead of a building place. And one of the sneakiest places this shows up, constant learning. Now listen, I love learning. I probably own enough business books to open up a small library. I love podcasts, courses, trainings, frameworks, new ideas. I love it all. But there's a difference between learning to support implementation and learning because implementation feels emotionally uncomfortable. Sometimes consuming feels safer than deciding, safer than launching, safer than being visible, safer than even trying. And what it really is it feels safer than the possibility of failing. So instead, we say, we're going to stay in this preparation mode. We're going to be planning and over-planning. And it feels productive. But if you stay there too long, it quietly reinforces the idea that you're not ready yet. And that becomes exhausting. So if your brain keeps telling you that you're behind or everyone else is doing better or your work isn't enough or your progress doesn't count yet, then even the good things start to feel flat. Now, here's the thing. Acknowledging progress helps reinforce the taking action pathway. It's like in our brain, the one that gives us momentum, the one that gives us motivation. You learn it's safe to continue. But when we never acknowledge progress, your brain doesn't fully register the reward, which means momentum gets harder to sustain. That's one reason burnout happens so often with ambitious women owners. They achieve things, but never emotionally experience the achievement. They're already on to the next thing. So how do we start shifting this? I want to give you 5 practical things that you can do today that can help. Number 1, start noticing where you move the goalposts. Awareness is almost always the first step into any change. Paying attention to moments where you immediately focus on what's missing or refuse to celebrate until everything's perfect. For example, you launch an offer. It's big. You spend a lot of time on it. But then you focus on the people who didn't buy. Or you implement your CEO hour every week, but you think you should be scaling faster. Now, what's happening is your brain keeps changing the rules for what counts. And once you see it happening, you can interrupt it. One of my favorite questions to ask clients who are in this space is, what would the past version of you think about this? More often than not, the past version of them would be thrilled that they're making progress. They need to stay in that space to see that. Number 2, create evidence of your progress. Now, our brains are not always reliable historians, especially when we're overwhelmed. That's why tracking wins really matters. Now, this isn't just revenue wins. This is all of your wins. These can be things like showing up consistently, improving a system, getting really clear on a decision, or making a decision faster, having a difficult conversation, or resting instead of spiraling, or even trying something new. This is one reason why I love my weekly reviews, not just for planning, but for perspective, because progress is often happening quietly in the background. And if you never pause long enough to see it, it's easy to feel like nothing is working. Number 3, celebrate before you feel done. This one matters so much because we accidentally delay joy. It becomes, I'll celebrate after this launch, or after this next milestone, or after I hit that really big goal. But the truth is, business growth is layered. There will always be another level every single time. So if celebration only happens when you hit the finish line, you'll spend most of your business journey emotionally depriving yourself of the wins. And celebration doesn't have to mean giant parties or expensive rewards. It can be just sharing the win with a friend, or taking the afternoon off, or buying some fresh flowers for yourself, or sitting outside with coffee. It can literally just be you saying you're proud of yourself for this accomplishment. These small moments really matter, and your nervous system needs them to move along the path. Number 4, implement more than you consume. I know so many women who are incredibly intelligent and deeply overloaded with information. Look, you don't need 47 strategies. You likely only need to make one decision, try one experiment, move one next best step down the line, or even just 1 week of consistency. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is stop gathering more information and start using what you already know, because confidence comes after action, not before it. And number 5, define success more holistically. Now, this is a big one, because if success only means your revenue or your followers or your launches or just some external validation, things start to feel really fragile. And I'm going to ask you here, what if success could also include freedom, energy, peace, flexibility, health, joy, or more capacity? What if a profitable business wasn't just about the numbers, but how your life actually feels? Because I truly believe a business that looks successful but makes you feel miserable is not successful at all. You're allowed to want both, a profitable business that feels good. Now, imagine building your business without constantly feeling behind. You let every progress count, including the small things. You wake up and see evidence that you're becoming the person capable of building your own fun and profitable business. Not because everything is all lined up, but because you're finally allowing yourself to acknowledge movement. This changes the energy of your business entirely. You stop operating from desperation and you stop trying to prove yourself. Your worthiness is no longer attached to your productivity. Instead, you start building from steadiness, from possibility. And ironically, that's usually when business gets easier because your brain has more space for creativity, decision-making, problem-solving, and connection. And you become more resilient because your identity is no longer attached to one vanity metric or one outcome. All right, let's get to your action step for this week. I want you to create an already working list. Write down what's improving, what's getting easier, what you've completed, what you're proud of, and what past you craved that you have today. Not what's missing. We're talking about what's already working. Because your brain needs evidence that progress is happening. And I think you'll be surprised by how much you've already built. Now, if this episode resonated with you, I'd love for you to share it with another business owner who needs a reminder that she's doing better than she thinks she is. She needs to hear it from you. Give her space to celebrate. All right, friend, that's it. Until next time, happy building your fun and profitable business.